the energy of late, what I could say is November is, I want to say crunchy time. It's a little sinister laugh there. It's a huge month. We have a lot going on. Look what fell out. Let's see what this says. We're going to go with the flow and see what happens. We have the Page of Coins, the Eight of Wands in reverse, the Eight of Swords in the upright, and the Three of Wands in the upright. As we were talking about the energy, we have the Page of Coins. This page, I want to say, is like a student of the earth. This is the doer. This is going to work every day. This is performing details. This is living your everyday life. This is you. This is a card of maybe not knowing where you're going, perhaps not understanding the end goal. This is someone who maybe is just doing what is necessary. I feel a bit of sense of confidence here, and I'm not sure why. The Page of Pentacles, in all intent purposes, at times is considered a younger version, a younger person, somebody between, I don't know, adolescent to 30 years old maybe. But I don't want to focus in on an age. This is an early stage. This could be a student. This is a person in an early state who is just doing what needs to be done to move forward. And then we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. The Eight of Wands in the upright is fast-moving energy. It's fiery energy. We have Mars in Sagittarius. This is getting up and going, speaking your mind, learning. Mercury rules learning. And we were talking about the student, the younger version of oneself. It speaks of communication as well, messages, texts, telephone calls. Is there such a thing anymore, telephone calls? I think I just gave up my age. This is texts, calls, emails. This is getting your point across. This is the subliminal nudge that's trying to push you in a particular direction. It's in a reverse, which really gives me the sense that where is it that we have not learned, or that we are not in a state of learning? Perhaps we're in a state of stagnancy. Did I say I felt like there was a stubbornness or a confidence? Or maybe the two are kind of the same. Interesting. And then we have the Eight of Swords. That's that stubbornness. That does not depict strength. It actually depicts the fact that, well, the Eight of Swords is about our mental faculties, how we think. Perhaps a bit too much thinking, monkey brain. In this picture, we have a bubble. You're in the middle of the bubble. Looks like you want to get out, but you have all these swords. And if you crack that bubble, you're going to fall onto those swords. It's like you are fearing a move. In fact, we have Jupiter in Gemini. Perhaps there's a mental conflict that's contained within what you perceive that you know, and the conflict and restrictions it places on you and causes you to be in this stuck position. This is a card of restriction, mental restriction. And it gives rise, if we have the Eight of Wands, which is fast-moving action, learning, communication, and it's in the reverse, perhaps that's the issue. You have monkey brain around being stagnant, not having the ability to move forward, not understanding the direction that you should be going, perhaps. Not really knowing subconsciously what it is that the direction you're supposed to be going. There is an aspect here of balance, though, which is really interesting. It gives this twist to this, because we have here what's coming forward is the Three of Wands, Sun in Aries. This is you taking action. But it's the Three of Wands and you have the Eight of Wands here. It's almost as if you're trying to balance out, perhaps think about your next move, the direction you want to go to. Perhaps thinking a little too much, monkey brain, that Gemini monkey brain. But with an 8 in the upright and the 8 in the reverse, I get this sense of perhaps you're weighing your options. Perhaps you're working on and trying to come to a resolution, a decision as to what direction you want to go. And before I say too much more, I really feel, before the next cards come out, I will say, I feel like you are in this period of contemplation at the current moment. A little too heady about it, mentally. But you really are trying to put your ducks in a row so that you can move rather swiftly. I almost feel like you are learning to accept what you have at this moment. And you see how her arms are stretched out? It's like she's pushing her boundaries. Maybe that's what you're doing. Are you pushing your boundaries? Just waiting for that opportunity to show up. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Three of Swords in reverse. Interesting. Three of Swords often speaks of grief. It speaks of sorrow, pain. And maybe that's what this is about. That perhaps you received a message, something that burst your bubble, if you will, something that potentially created a disturbance in how you're thinking. In the upright, it is Saturn in Libra. It is pushing those boundaries of your comfort zone. As I said, let's get some clarifiers here. Really interesting. These cards are not bad. They resonate with a manifestation of an opportunity, of moving forward with something that perhaps it's what you're contemplating, what you've learned, some type of communication. We have the King of Cups. The Four of Pentacles. Page of Cups. Temperance in reverse. Queen of Wands. Knight of Swords. Wheel of Fortune. And the Death card. I really like this, these cards. We have the Nine of Cups in the end. This page I felt was the student, right? Wanting to move forward, but feeling stuck. And that's what we see in the Four of Pentacles. This Four of Pentacles is just holding on to what he owns. If he took this, his pentacles, which represents his details, things that he focuses on, things that he's well, I don't want to say hoarding, but he's keeping it to himself. If he just relaxed and allowed those pentacles to work for him. And we have the King of Cups. This is being in balance with your emotions. I'm getting sternness, seriousness, not showing who you are. The real you, letting things flow naturally. This is a master of the emotions, but retaining it, holding back what you feel. Interesting. The Eight of Wands is clarified by the Page of Cups and the Temperance. This is those emotions that you're holding back. And you're, well, Page of Cups steps forward in this new light, but you're not working with your emotions. Temperance speaks of balance. Temperance speaks of working with elements to come up with something else. I almost feel like you're not releasing your natural flow. This could very well be that Perhaps you're putting on a happy face to others, when in fact you need to work on that. You're holding back from communicating how you truly feel with others. You're giving mixed messages regarding emotions. Interesting. The Eight of Swords is clarified by the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Swords. This is fire and swords. This is stepping forward, being a badass. Being bold with whatever this intellectual information that you have moving forward. I'm feeling like your emotions that you're holding back need to be more expressive. I want to say exploded because this looks like the bubble's going to burst, right? You ever have one of those laughs where you just continuously laughing no matter what you do? You look at somebody, you just keep laughing, laughing, laughing. That's what this feels like. There's a connotation here as well that this Queen of Wands, highly intuitive. There may be fear of a message. Or maybe there's a message you're one second. No, this is about you stepping full force emotionally with all that you have and bringing the Knight of Swords is quick moving thought process, quick moving, the Knight brings a message to the Queen. This is perhaps there's a momentum here, picking up momentum. And then we have picking up momentum, getting a move on, move through this phase. Opportunity is here. We have the Wheel of Fortune and we have the Death card. I almost feel like while you're in this energy of passivity, of toiling in your mind, trying to figure things out, your subconscious is saying, come on, let's go, let's get moving. There is an opportunity knocking. And that's that Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune it's a change. It's a graduation. It's an elevation. But you go from the Wheel of Fortune to the Death. It's like you're moving swiftly through into this portal, into this opportunity. When you get to this point, things are going to move really quickly. There's so much action and it's almost like be prepared. You've done all the work. You've completed the direction. You've worked on aspects of yourself, and what's coming next may very well pop your bubble, may very well surprise you. Because what we see here with the Eight of Swords are these swords popping this fragile bubble that you've created around yourself. And then we have Jupiter, which is expansive. It's like you're going through this phase. And when that bubble pops, boom, you're going to be ushered right in. Things are going to change. Nine of Cups, Two of Wands, Queen of Cups, Three of Swords in reverse again. It's as if you don't see this coming. Queen of Cups is a need to nurture yourself. Nurturing oneself, nurturing one's emotions. We have the King here. Perhaps that's what you've been doing. You've been working on yourself. And you've been on this path for some time. And you're going to see the fruits of your labor. But with this Two of Wands in reverse, says to me, you're not going to see it coming. In the upright, it speaks of, look at how his hand's up above, like he's seeing. Right? He's seeing his, here's the Three of Wands. He's seeing that ship come in. And you give permission to move forward to it. Perhaps you gave permission some time ago. But here you go. You're not going to see it coming. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, actually, because it's very nurturing. It brings you to a place of independence, Nine of Cups. Healing, a higher vibration, a resonance, a state of feeling comfortable within your own skin. I find that really interesting. Wow. Let me just look at some numbers. These is a 7. And I think in the last reading we had the Chariot, movement. And we were talking about the energy of November. And making the conscious choice. Bringing the masculine and feminine energies together. And here we have the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Bringing those two aspects of yourself. And when you do, you don't see, I almost want to say, the chaos, the nonsense. I'm focused on the Queen of Wands because those of you who have been with my channel know that that's my guide. I feel like you may very well be getting a message. We saw the Queen of Wands, or maybe you already had, because it's in the reverse. And it's really quick. And once you gain that information, that bubble of yours is going to burst open. And we have Jupiter and Gemini. That is when the real work begins. It is huge. It is large. It is grand. Gemini gives reference to the dual aspects, right? Masculine, feminine. I find that interesting. What's on the bottom here? We have the Palace of Wands and the Nine of Swords. and the Hangman. Woo! A perspective, a message you receive about something that you feared, comes to you perhaps through the guide like I was speaking of, that will help you to release your fears, anxieties. This is manifesting success. Finding the tools that you have to create your own personal success. Interesting. Thank you very much. Be well. Peace.